So quarterback season 2, they released who they're going to be following, right? The Netflix series. They're going to be following Josh Allen, Kenny Pickett, Justin Herbert, right? First impression, I like the mix. I think Josh is a little bit more outgoing, a little bit more vocal. Kenny's a little bit more of a young, budding player who's still struggling week in and week out to prove himself and solidify his spot in the league. You have Justin Herbert, who's very quiet, reserved, doesn't like a ton of camera time, doesn't like a ton of publicity. But one thing did stand out to me. And I've been thinking about this for longer than just seeing this release. Talking about young quarterbacks, especially like a Daniel Jones, Kenny Pickett, right? Younger, kind of on that fringe where it's like, are we gonna buy into them? So obviously Kenny's younger, has a longer runway. Daniel Jones signed, but nobody really believes that's a good deal. They're kind of banking on the late rise of Daniel Jones, like that second pop in the contract here. So I thought, how many first round quarterbacks have popped later than year 3? Right? I think year 3 is a good benchmark. Right? The game has changed mightily over the last 10 years. So we'll go back 10 years and let's look who are the first round quarterbacks over the last 10 years. Here's the list. 2013, we've got E.J. Manuel. You guys can see it on your screen, by the way. Blake Bortles, Teddy Bridgewater, Johnny Manziel in 2014. Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota in 2015. You have Goff, Wentz, and Paxton Lynch in 16. In 17, you have it's a pretty good first round, Deshaun, Patrick, and Mitch Trubisky. 2018, you have the Baker, Rosen, Darnold, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen draft class. 2019, Kyler, Daniel Jones, Dwayne Haskins. 2020 is Burrow, Herbert, Tua, and Jordan Love, of course. 2021, was supposed to be loaded, big draft class, Lawrence, Wilson, Fields, Lance, and Mac Jones. And then, of course, Kenny Pickett, 2022. We haven't seen the 2023 class yet, so we'll leave them out. You start to, that's the overall look. Who out of those guys have had some form of success? I'm talking been able to roughly, stay in the league, a couple of different spots they've been able to start, been more than serviceable, right? And you look, it's a decent amount, right? But we'll narrow that down even further. So you got like Blake Bortles, Teddy Bridgewater, right? Like, you don't kid yourself on Blake Bortles. The man started an AFC Championship game. Like, he has his flaws, and he only had a couple of good years, but the man started an AFC Championship game and played well. Teddy Bridgewater, again, don't kid yourself, right? You started for a while. If it wasn't for a once in a 15-year knee injury, Teddy Bridgewater would probably still be a starting caliber quarterback. Jameis and Marcus, again, they've been somewhat successful, been able to start in multiple places, have had other opportunities, have had very, very good seasons, Pro Bowl caliber seasons. Obviously, Goff and Wentz, say what you want about Wentz, but he's still a very, very good quarterback. Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones. Again, Daniel Jones been able to start. He's won a playoff game. I got to give him that. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Tua, Trevor Lawrence, and Mac Jones. Don't kid yourself on Mac Jones. The man was a Pro Bowl level quarterback, right? Those are the guys who have had, and I'll say, quote, some level of success, right? Like, I don't think Daniel Jones has been overall successful for where he was drafted. He was 6th overall. He's getting paid $40-something million. Do I think he's successful? No. But in the grand scheme of things, he's won a playoff game. He's been a perennial starter, right? More than a lot of people can say in this league. I think a lot of those guys were more of a product of their environment, though. So let's narrow it down even further, right? Let's look at the guys who are, say, I absolutely have to have them on my team. Can't miss them, right? Well, then you get pretty narrow here, right? Let's look. Deshaun Watson, first couple of years, he's winning divisions with him and DeAndre Hopkins, basically. That's about all he had. Winning divisions, competing in playoff games, winning playoff games. How about Patrick Mahomes? First year to starter, MVP. Lamar takes over week 9. Whoa, he's fast. First year, the next year after that one, first year full starting, MVP. Kyler Murray, now again, injuries, size, maturity issues, yes. Fast, can run, can throw a deep ball. Instantly you could say, whoa, he's different. Joe Burrow, yeah, he gets hurt his first year, but still looks fantastic. First full year starting, Super Bowl appearance. Justin Herbert, hey man, you got 5 minutes. They punctured Tyrod Taylor's lung. Oh, by the way, you have to go against the Chiefs. 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes to get ready. Are you ready? Yeah, it's no problem. Stud. Trevor Lawrence, hey, I know that Urban Meyer sucks. We'll call it a wash that year. First year of the real coach, gets to the playoffs, wins a playoff game, down from 27 down? Stud. Right? This idea that the first round talents take a ton of time, it's absolutely nonsense. Right? Look at some of the guys that you'd say, oh, they need some more time. You find yourself with a list of Mitch Trubisky and Daniel Jones and Josh Rosen, E.J. Manuel, Sam Darnold, Jordan Love, Trey Lance. I'd even throw Justin Fields in there again. Say what you want, he's 5-20. Like he's 5-20. Like you cannot convince me at this point in his career he's not a bust. Is he entertaining? Absolutely. Does he have talent? For sure. He's 5-20. He's 5-20. Like, I'm sorry, Jordan Love. I'm out. I've seen enough. Like, the reality is that a first-round quarterback, if you start, you need to be able to play by Thanksgiving your next year. It's just the reality of the situation. So looping back around to the AFC North, we're going to get to that in the second segment. I think you're going to know by Thanksgiving, maybe a little bit later, can Kenny Pickett play? I'll give him to like week 10 or 11. Can Kenny Pickett play? 4-year starter in the same building, same practice facility, same city. We're like, it's go time, but like this is the time to go. And I'm not saying I doubt him, or I'm not saying like, oh, massive pressure on Kenny Pickett, but like, but by week 10 or 11, we have to have something where it's like, okay, I'll take a flyer on another year. Or, even better, that's our guy. Like, we have to know by Thanksgiving, are we rolling with him? Is it unfair? Maybe. But is it also reality? Absolutely. History will tell you that right there. That's the reality of first-round quarterbacks. We got to know before year 3. Most likely, even in the middle of year 2. It's just the reality of the situation. That's how it rolls.
Yeah, 100% agree there. And I think, if anything, this also points to the fact of, how hard it is to draft your guy as, like, from the GM ownership perspective in the league. Like, you read that list of first-round quarterbacks. How many of them have been busts? Like, that list shrinks significantly when you
We got time, let's go look.
When you look at all of the quarterbacks that were drafted in the first round, and then you go down the list and kind of, like, pull out the guys that have, like, really popped and been good, that list shrinks quick.
I would say outright bust. E.J. Manuel, Johnny Manziel, Paxton Lynch, Mitch Trubisky, Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold, Dwayne Haskins. I'm not ready to call Jordan Love a bust yet. He hasn't even had a full year starting.
Right.
Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, and right now I'd put Justin Fields in that.
Yeah.
And that's 10 guys in 10 years. That's a bust a year.
And, like, I'm not going to say Blake Bortles was a bust. Like, that's a whole different category you could get into. But, like, he's still not the guy. Like, he's not your franchise guy, but you spent a first-round pick on him.
Right, and you could even look at those guys, right? Blake Bortles, Teddy Bridgewater, Jameis, Marcus. I wouldn't put Goff and Wentz in that category. I think they're very, very high-end starters.
Yeah.
Like, I guess above-average starters. You could put Daniel Jones in there. Kyler Murray is in that category. Mac Jones. Like, those are all guys where it's like, we'd take a call. We'd listen to you.
Yeah.
Like, we'd move off of them tomorrow if we got the right offer. We'd draft a guy if there was a guy there.
It's very interesting.
Very interesting.